Today's Toy Spot, we're having a look at the Playmates Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splinter. Coming to us from the new line of movie figures, coming to us from the folks over at Playmates Toys, we get ourselves Splinter. Now, interestingly enough, you'll see that all four turtles are respectively shown on the side of the package, but there's no image down below because this wouldn't be obviously one of the turtles. Splinter looks like he comes with a sheath and some sort of sword, not necessarily maybe a katana sword, but a sword nonetheless. This is recommended for ages 4 and up. On the back of the package, the 8 current turtles available, Leonardo, Donatello, Raphael, Michelangelo of the brothers. But then down below, we've got Splinter, April O'Neil, the Shredder, and Foot Soldier. Your read-up says they were born in shadow, they live in shadow, and they fight in shadow. New York City, crime rates are on the rise, and innocent civilians tremble in fear. But there's a force fighting back, vigilantes among us ready to protect the city. Are they the heroes we expect them to be? Question mark. Are they powerful enough to take down the masked warrior everyone fears, the Shredder? Be sure you can head over to www.playmatestoys.com. You can check out this whole variety of Turtles basic figures as well as some of the other deluxe figures and interactive Turtles play weapons and whatnot. You can head over to playmatestoys.com and check those out. Spot is going to take a break, get this opened up, and when we come back, we're going to get a better look at the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Splinter. There's more heading your way, guys. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned. Having a look at the accessories that come included with Splinter, he comes with this really nice sheath. It is a pliable, rubbery plastic. And if you look closely, you can see some really nice scripture on these sides of the sheath there. You can take his sword and of course slide that into the sheath itself, like so. There is no section though on Splinter from what I can see where you can actually peg this into place. So I guess if anything, if you want, you could kind of have him holding the sheath with one hand, getting it inside his hand here. You can have him holding the sheath with one hand, and you can have him as if he's pulling his sword out, drawing his sword for battle. You could kind of have him pulling the sword out with the other hand. So, I mean, you could do that if you so wish. There's one hand, especially with the sleeve, you can see right there, it's kind of hard to get the sheath at least in there, but we'll just take that and put that to the side. And he does come with a sword, which I think, let me just grab off camera, there's Leonardo's sword. It looks like it is the exact same sword, maybe slightly different. You see the handle looks slightly different than Leonardo's, just slightly. But it's about the same. Splinter's is just a hair taller than Michelangelo's, without Leonardo's. Put that to the side. Splinter actually doesn't even come with a cane either, and I don't know if maybe in the movie he doesn't make use of a cane, because it seems like, you know, every incarnation of Splinter he does come with some sort of cane, or he's always been known to have canes. Maybe this Splinter is a little more agile than the other previous versions of him. Take the sword, just actually put the accessories to the side here. And having a look at Splinter, I like it. I think it's a really neat design for the character. I guess one of the more new introductions to the design of Splinter is the inclusion of like these side rodent mustache. He's got a little mustache on the side. He's got a little chin beard going on there as well. Surprisingly though, it doesn't bother me. As much as I kind of initially looked at the turtles, I'm thinking, really? I'm not sure if I like the design. I've really warmed up to the design of the turtles. And equally so, I've kind of warmed up to the design of Splinter. I just kind of think to myself, and probably maybe the logic of, you know, the studio behind the Turtle movie, maybe the logic was the exact same. I think of Splinter as like a master. And a lot of these, like the old kung fu movies, when you look at like the masters, the senseis that are training their students, they've always got like some sort of mustache or beard thing going on there. And so like, getting something and bringing that over to the realm of the turtles, it makes perfect sense that someone like a Splinter would have a very similar design, that they were trying to make him look as much of a master as they could. So the inclusion of the mustache and the beard, I think, works for me. Also, too, he's got kind of a step away, and really, I guess for that matter, the movie toys as a whole is a big step away from like the original Turtles toys that we grew up with. But like the old Splinter figures had more of a red, I don't know if you would call this like a kimono, a komodo. But he's got more like a black coloring rather than the red. And really some interesting details too, like even on the side, little side areas here, he's got like little gold imprints there. He's also got a turtle on his necklace that he's sporting. And this is actually a separate piece too, as well. On the back, a little bit of a scripture going on the back. I'm not quite certain what that actually says, but a little bit of a gold scripture image on the back there. This whole section here feels like it's a separate torso piece from the rest of his body. And I don't know, I guess if you wanted to, you could probably take this off. You could probably just pop the arms off, pop the head off, and slide this whole piece off. The downside, though, is that the sleeves would still be intact, so it doesn't quite make much sense. But it does look like he does have a regular rat outfit underneath there. He is still pretty posable, too. He does have a nice swivel ball joint in the head. Shoulders, very easy to move, actually. Shoulders move out, back and forth, be a hinge ball socket there. Swivel in the wrist as opposed to, or swivel in the forearm rather than a bend in the forearm like the Turtles had. Also over here swivel as well. Legs can move, slightly limited by the fact he's got his robe on here, but they do still move out and forward and back. And he does have a slight swivel in the tail, but you really can't do too much with it, again, just because he's got the robe on here. Just to kind of show you guys the scaling between the two of them, there's Splinter. And we reach off camera, we'll bring in like Donatello. You can see that Donatello a lot bigger than Splinter. Raphael, don't have to tell you, I mean, Raphael's a beast, so I mean, he's quite a bit bigger. And I guess really the closest thing for a scale comparison, there he is next to Michelangelo. And I guess he's roughly about the same height. Michelangelo could be maybe just a smidgen taller than Splinter. But as it should be, I mean, really, with the Turtles have always been taller than Splinter. Splinter's always really the smaller, again, master of the team. But there they are with the four brothers, and then Splinter right down there. And moving these guys out of the way. Some also things, too, I also want to mention, is this extra nice paint wash that they put on the head area and around in the ear area there. It kind of breaks up a lot of this gray because they are using, like, they gave them like a very muddy kind of gray. This pink is a really refreshing area that breaks up a lot of the other coloring. And actually, really from a distance, kind of gives him a little bit of a sheen to his head, which is all, again, a really nice touch. Really, I guess as a whole, the Michael Bay, and we say Michael Bay, he is, again, just the producer of the movie, but, with the Bay Turtles, as they've coined them now, you either like or hate the designs. I'm warming up to the designs, and the same thing for Splinter. Splinter has not necessarily he had never really quite looked like this in the past, with the beard and everything else going on there, but it's a logical design for a character, a master, such as Splinter here. So for me, I really like the design. Splinter, I'm going to give him a 7.5. That sounds good. 7.5 for Splinter the Rat. Today's toy spot, We were having a look at the Playmates Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie figures. We're having a look today at Splinter. Don't be going anywhere, guys. Even though Spot's finished the review of Splinter, there's still a couple of reviews coming your way for more of the movie turtle figures. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.